Hi everyone, so this time we are going to talk about Japanese watch. You can guess it easily from the name of this video review. So we got here the Orient star, and this trademark is connected to the Orient watches, which we are all used to see from some time ago because they were producing also good diver watches. So Orient Star is more of a luxury sub-brand, and I decided to take a closer look at one of their top models. It's a skeleton watch which is made in a classic styling. So first let's start with traditional unboxing, and then we will continue with detailed review of this watch. So as you saw, this watch comes in a quite simple packaging. I wouldn't say there is something sophisticated. As you can see, it's a cardboard box, and then we have this leatherette box which opens like that, and then we have watch line here sideways. So it comes on this special pouch, and that's pretty much everything you get in the package. There are no additional bonuses whatsoever, even though for that price I would have been expecting a bit more in comparison with other competitors on the market. So we start here with the name of this watch. As you remember, it's a so-called skeleton watch. That's why we get this special dial, and I will insert some detailed shots, macro view of this dial, because it's quite sophisticated. We have special engraving here, we have also the manufacturer logo, and we have also blued elements which make up the really elegant design which works together and it doesn't look cheap. So you can notice that the size of this watch is not that huge. It's only 38.8 millimeters case size, so it might be suitable even for the thin wrists. Nevertheless, we have a lot of features here, and as for the dial, so it might look a sophisticated dial, but we have here, I would say, somewhat classic set of the features. We have the hour and minute hands, we have the sub-seconds hand here, and also we have the power reserve indicator, which is quite nice because this watch has really impressive power reserve, and we will talk about this later. Nevertheless, whole color choices here, I would say they're in a classic range. So we have silver color, white color, and we also get those blued hands. And note that blue color was used for all hands which are present on the dial, so that's not only the main hours and minutes, but also we have the seconds and power reserve also in blue color. And there are also some movement parts which are coming in the same color, so it adds some interest to this composition. The longer you are looking at this dial, you will be finding more and more features which are not that easy to recognize from the first sight. So as for the eligibility, I wouldn't say it's difficult. You just have to get used to find this minutes and seconds hand, because the indices are quite large and they're coming in silver color. Also, for the writings, we have here only the Orient Star logo at the 3 hours position. We also have the Japan-made writing on the bottom, but this is classic for such watches. And all of the digits are present only on the sub-dials. As you can see, the main dial does not feature any digits at all, which actually adds to the elegant look of this dial, because if we would have any digits here, it would be too cluttered, and then it would be more difficult to find the necessary position of the hours or minutes hand. I think that's all for the dial, and now we can move on for the case, which is not that huge as I remember, but still there is something to talk about. I almost forgot to say that we do not have any date indicator here. At first I thought that this was the date indicator, but as I said, the top dial is actually used for the power reserve indication. And well, the date indicator would have been lost here on all of these elements, so in my opinion it's actually good. And you can also notice that some parts are actually attached with the screws. I'm not sure if they're only decorative or they're actually functional screws, but I hope they are, because they look quite in place here and they actually connect with this inner structure which is exposed with help of skeleton dial. As I said, this watch is not that huge, so we are coming to the case, and it's a stainless steel case. As you can see, the whole styling is very simple, And for this price range, I would say that's actually an advantage, because we know that a lot of brands are going for the sophisticated shapes. Here we get a really classic styling which should be timeless, and I don't think it will be looking bad after a few years. It's actually ageless design, and in my opinion this is a good choice for this particular model. So the thickness is also quite small, so here as you can see we have really thin shape which equals to 10.6 millimeters, and that makes it easier to wear on your hand and also hide it under your sleeve. As for the crown here, as you can see, this is quite large element and it doesn't sit flush with the edges of the case, what makes it easier to pull it out. There is no screw down crown, you can pull it out immediately and start tuning the time and date. And as for the power reserve or the watch winding, you can wind it a classic way without any additional movements or actions. By the way, here we have also the logo engraved on the crown. I hope it will be shown also on the macro video which will be inserted into this review. And also for the legs, they, as you can see, are also quite simple. We have them slightly angled for ease of use, and that actually adds to the comfort of wearing this watch, and I think it's a really good thing to have on such thin case. The only thing which I can add is it is hard to miss that this watch features the mirror polishing, and with this thing you have to be careful because it's easy to scratch all of the sides and then it will be visible. But I would say that's a typical trait of such watches which come with such finish, and well, here you just have to be careful while wearing this timepiece. And now we can talk about the movement, because it's visible not only through the front opening but also through the rear opening. And by the way, here we actually get the clear insert from both sides, so you can appreciate the movement from both sides. And also we get the Orient star logo on both sides, just to remind you who is the manufacturer of this watch. Inside we get Orient F8B62 movement. This is quite impressive caliber because it features more than 70 hours power reserve, and I think for such small shape it is really impressive. We get the hacking here, and it's something what will be useful because this is not an automatic movement, this is fully manual winding watch, and you have to remember, but that's where this power reserve indicator comes handy, because you know when you have just to rotate this crown in order to get a bit more power into your watch. As I said in the beginning of this video review, we do not get any extra features, so there are no date or month indicators, we only get the second subdial and we get the power indicator, but that's more than enough for such sophisticated dial here, especially in this small size. As for the strap, we get the leather strap. You can notice that it comes accompanied with this special buckle. It's a clasp buckle, and also we get the Orient star logo on the buckle engraved right on this part. Well, this material or this type of leather is quite smooth and soft. It's really easy to wear on your wrist, so if I put it on my wrist here, as you can see, it's just a matter of click and you have it on your hand. And I did not adjust this strap, so you can see here the default fitment, but still it looks nice, and my average size wrist actually works nicely with this watch. It doesn't look too small, and as I said, it's easy to hide under the sleeve thanks to the thickness. And here we can talk about overall impressions of this watch, because there are some things to mention. So as I said in the introduction for this video, the quite impressive trait of this watch is the price tag, because this is the top tier of the Orient star watches and we get it for more than 3,000 euros. And it was interesting to see how it actually works in real life. So we get the skeleton dial, which looks really sophisticated in real life, and I have to say that the official photos do not do the justice to this design. You have to see it in person, and all that thanks to the engraving here, which plays nicely on the bright light. So that's why it's a good idea to visit your reseller and try it to rotate under different angles and appreciate how this whole structure is layered. And this is really impressive composition. And as for the sizing, I think they got the really right size for such type of watch. As you saw, it's not too huge and it's really comfortable to use, and the leather strap actually contributes to this, so I don't think you will have any issues here. Only the movement, because I know A lot of watch fans are expecting the automatic movement in this price range. Well, here we get the manual one, and I wouldn't say it's a disadvantage, but it's just a matter of your personal taste, because with a manual winding watch you get more interaction with this timepiece, and some fans, some buyers are actually happy to get this, so definitely remember that if you will be considering this watch for your collection. And now for the most interesting part, because I mentioned the price tag, and well, it is around 3,500 euros. You can get it already in Helvetii web shop. And as I said, it's a quite tricky price range where we have a lot of competitors even from the well-known brands. But here you get an advantage that there are not that many watches made like that. This is not a limited edition, this is not a special edition, but yet I really doubt that you will encounter many similar models around you, and I think this is the main advantage, the biggest plus of this watch, because it's actually quite rare without being special, and all this stuff, the impressive power reserve, nice design, good build quality and really good weather here, all this comes for a reasonable price. And yes, it would be nice to see the limited number engraved here, but we get what we get, and even in this case I think this watch is worth considering, especially if you are a fan of the Japanese watchmakers. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below, and if you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.